puppy playtime with Mom here at Circle C Farm. These are 100% purebred, pure blood working Maremmas, and she has 5 puppies. They're approximately, let's see, about 6 to 7 weeks now, I guess. 5, 6, 7, yeah, maybe 7 coming 8. And so they are getting ready to go into a different pasture in the next couple of days, depending on the rain. Put them over in the pasture where we had the sheep and the goats. We were there in the dog house for the summer, and then a modified adjustment. We've got some stuff piled up for them to play over there from cutting the grass. And other than that, we're going to keep it pretty simple. The idea is for them to do their thing and to learn from Mom and Dad and their auntie. And I am sure they're going to have a blast. And you can see they go running. And then, but she stayed here, so they're not running so far. But they're really, really listening. They're super intelligent, all 5 of them. They're very different, which is really cool to watch. And also very similar in so many ways. And yes, I know they're siblings, and yes, that makes sense. But as I'm looking at these little, headbutt. As I'm looking at these little puppies, I am trying to really have my hands on and off in different ways. Doing everything to and with them, touching them. I stick my fingers in their mouth when they're eating. They're getting raw, they're getting milk. Super happy, super healthy. Haven't had any complaints from them other than they like more outside time at the moment. But they're really doing great. They're very inquisitive. They like to run and putter. They're really very observational. It's really interesting and intriguing, and they're highly intelligent, and you can see their little brains working. We've already started on some no commands. I don't use the word no. I use a couple of other audible cues so that their direction comes from me, not from other people. So if somebody shows up here at the property, they give what would be a typical command to the puppies or to one of the dogs, and the dogs will just look at them and ignore them. And I do that on purpose because they're our dogs, and we really want to be real clear about how and what we want them to do and not do and respond to things. As many of you may know, and some may not, when it comes to these guardian dog breeds, they're not like a traditional dog. They are dogs that will respond to you typically like a teenager might. You give them a request or a command per se, and then you go ahead and get ignored in a lot of ways. And that's not atypical for a livestock guardian dog breed. Different from our Schnauzer or other breeds, our Shepherd or Boxers or any of the other breeds that are highly trainable in that sense, or more traditionally trained. And so that's really an important, interesting thing, because there's things that these dogs know and they learn and they see. And in that learning process, if, like for example, if I go out at midnight and walk around the chickens, the laying hens, I've done a couple videos with that because it's just been really, really cool. And Ami or Alexandra or Cleopatra hear something, then I don't go call them back. So for example, if they hear something and they go running or they start barking, I don't tell them to shush or not to bark. You won't hear that because there's things that they hear and see. You won't hear that from us. And that's really important to understand and know about livestock guardian dogs. And that's why those of us who are in livestock and we love these dogs, and there's a handful of really amazing breeds out there naturally, and you'll find that meaning the dogs, will often end up in a situation where they end up having to be rehomed multiple times, or they're euthanized, or they're just abandoned on the side of the street. And that is 100% often when it comes to those situations. If they're people who don't understand the breed, these are not walk on your leash kind of dogs. I mean, there are some that will come out of a litter and they're more small property, like 1 or 2 acres with a family, hanging out, that kind of dog. But majority of times, these dogs are truly needing to be in with stock. and they need to be worked with through the, up till 2, 3, and on, depending upon their experiences and exposures. But it's really super duper important for you to understand that, because I had a neighbor ask me, hey, will you be selling some of your puppies? And I said, yes, I just didn't know how many. And we've got the 3 males and the 2 females. And so we really hadn't gotten into that conversation, but I explained to her that, and she's a lovely neighbor. I just explained to her that this was not going to, I said, yes, we may be selling them, but they're to go to, or will only go to, working farms where there's livestock for guardianship, because these dogs are not intended to be inside laying around. They'll destroy your house. I'm not saying that this is an all or none. I'm just saying that the breed by disposition is not intended to be a house dog. And if you have it more for personal or your children, they're amazing. You can have them around your little yard, an acre, 2 acres type of thing. But always understand that their growth and design and structure inherently is for guarding of livestock. So your children can become livestock as well. So you do have to watch that sometimes if you have a particular breed that might be a little bit more alpha or dominant. So you just got to be aware of that. But yeah, so this is Farmer Nicole at Circle C Farm, and I am going to end up having to tromp into the pasture over here. So wanted to share with you a little bit about our Maremmas and what's going on here, and all the wonderful chaos of puppies. Have a great night.